Hello, this is Greg Elkan, and I welcome you to a special Elkan's Word for Today devotional. God bless you as you listen.
All right, so let's dive into something a little bit different for this New Year's deep dive.
Right.
We're exploring Greg Elkan's Begin from the End from his Word for Today series.
Okay.
You sent this in, and honestly, the title alone had me intrigued. It's not your typical New Year's resolution pep talk, is it?
Not at all. Elkan skips the whole goal-setting frenzy and dives right into something much deeper,
Right.
tackling that familiar feeling of anxiety many of us experience as January approaches.
Yeah.
He even calls out the euphoria of January 1st as something that fades faster than last year's resolutions.
Okay, I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
That initial motivation can disappear quicker than you can say gym membership.
Right.
But Elkan doesn't just point out the problem.
Right.
He actually suggests there's a reason why so many of us struggle right out of the gate.
He attributes this to what he calls the devil's busiest month. He suggests that negative forces might be working overtime in January, trying to derail people's faith and hope for the year ahead.
Wow.
It's an interesting take, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, there are some real psychological hurdles we face in January.
Absolutely.
You've got the post-holiday blues, the pressure of those resolutions we probably won't keep.
Right.
Maybe Elkan's onto something here.
Yeah.
But if January is this spiritual battleground, what's the strategy for coming out on top?
That's where his whole begin from the end concept comes in.
Okay.
Instead of getting caught up in the anxieties of January,
Yeah.
Elkan suggests a total perspective shift.
Okay.
He says we should be focusing on God's blessings and miracles throughout the entire year. And get this, as if they've already happened.
Wait, so we're basically time traveling to December 31st, 2025?
Yeah.
And looking back on the year with gratitude?
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
That's the essence of it. Elkan believes that by framing the year in the past tense, where those blessings have already occurred,
Right.
we can disarm the worries and anxieties that tend to grip us, especially at the start of the year.
Yeah.
It's a way of claiming those blessings in advance.
Such a different way of thinking about it.
Right.
Instead of, I hope good things happen this year,
Yeah.
it's thank you for all the good that's already happened, even if I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling a little lighter just thinking about it.
That's the power of perspective.
Yeah.
And this idea is rooted in something pretty profound.
Okay.
The concept of God existing outside of time. Elkan uses the analogy of a tapestry,
Right.
saying that while we experience time as a linear thread,
Okay.
God sees the entire tapestry, the beginning, the middle, the end,
Yeah.
all at once.
Okay, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So if God is already at December 31st, 2025,
Right.
seeing the complete tapestry of the year,
Yeah.
including all its blessings,
Yes.
then Elkan is saying we can tap into that perspective, right?
Exactly. Instead of being stuck in the anxiety of January, which is just a tiny thread in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
we can align ourselves with God's already accomplished goodness of the whole year.
Wow.
It's a pretty radical concept when you think about it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like we're shifting our internal calendar to match God's eternal calendar.
Exactly.
But how do we practically wrap our minds around that? I mean, it's one thing to understand the concept, but how do we actually experience it?
Well, that's where Elkan gets really practical.
Okay.
He encourages us to reflect on the past year, those moments of grace, joy, unexpected blessings, and use that as fuel for our faith and gratitude moving forward.
Okay.
He even suggests thanking God in advance for the blessings we'll experience throughout the year,
Right.
as if they've already occurred.
Oh, wow.
It's about cultivating a mindset of gratitude,
Yeah.
even before those blessings materialize in our day-to-day lives.
So instead of saying, I hope I have a healthy year, it's more like, thank you for the gift of health throughout this year.
Exactly.
It's a subtle but powerful shift in language, isn't it?
It is. And by expressing gratitude in advance,
Yeah.
you're essentially affirming your belief that those blessings are already on their way. You're aligning yourself with God's vision for your year,
Right.
which, according to Elkan, is already complete and overflowing with goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really making me rethink how I usually approach the new year.
Uh-huh.
It's usually all about setting goals, making plans, and honestly feeling a bit overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah.
But this idea of beginning from the end,
Yeah.
it's like taking a deep breath and remembering that God's already got this.
That's a great way to put it. It's not about ignoring the practical aspects of planning and goal setting.
Right.
It's about approaching those things from a place of peace and trust, knowing that you're not doing it all on your own.
So it's not about denying the challenges or difficulties that might come up. It's about facing them with this foundation of gratitude and faith that we've already talked about.
Exactly. And remember, we're talking about aligning our hearts and minds with God's perspective.
Right.
We're choosing to see the year through the lens of His already accomplished goodness.
Yeah, I love that. But I think for a lot of people, including myself, the question is, how do we make this concept tangible? It's a beautiful idea.
Right.
But how do we actually weave beginning from the end into our everyday lives?
Elkan talks about the power of visualization.
Okay.
He suggests taking some time to picture yourself at the end of the year, looking back with joy and gratitude.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself on December 31st, 2025,
Okay.
surrounded by the people you love, reflecting on all the amazing things that happened throughout the year.
That's such a vivid exercise.
Right.
It's like we're creating a mental movie of all those blessings unfolding. Do you ever do that?
I do.
Visualize things you want to happen?
And I think it's important to be specific with your visualizations.
Okay.
What are you celebrating on that future December 31st? What challenges did you overcome?
Right.
What dreams were fulfilled?
Yeah.
The more detailed you can make that mental picture, the more real it becomes.
It's like we're planting those seeds of possibility in our minds and then watering them with faith and expectation.
I love that analogy.
Okay.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Elkan suggests using those visualizations to guide your actions throughout the year.
Right.
So if you see yourself celebrating a specific accomplishment on that future December 31st, what steps can you take today to move towards that goal?
So it's not just about passively waiting for those blessings to fall into our laps.
Right.
It's about actively participating in God's plan for our lives.
Exactly.
It's like we're co-creating our year with God, working in partnership with Him to bring those blessings to fruition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about aligning our actions with our vision for the year ahead and trusting that God will meet us there.
This is making me so excited about the possibilities of this coming year.
Me too.
And, you know, it's not just about the big achievements or milestones.
Right.
It's also about finding those moments of gratitude in the everyday, ordinary moments.
Absolutely.
It's about training ourselves to see the good, to recognize those little sparks of God's grace sprinkled throughout our days. And that brings us to something Elkan says at the end of his devotional that really caught my attention.
Okay.
He says, "You've already won in this coming year."
Wow.
Those are some bold words. How do we even begin to grasp that concept?
No, he goes on to say, you're already blessed, already victorious, already triumphant. It has already happened.
Right.
And I think understanding this goes back to the idea of God's perspective outside of time.
Yeah.
From God's vantage point, the victory is already won. It's a done deal. Elkan is encouraging us to step into that reality,
Right.
to claim that victory as our own.
So it's not about hoping to win. It's about knowing we've already won.
Exactly.
That completely changes the game.
It does. It's about shifting from a mindset of striving and uncertainty to a mindset of confidence and assurance.
Right.
It's about living from a place of victory, not for victory.
This is so empowering. But I think some listeners might be wondering, if I've already won, what's the point of effort?
Right.
Why bother setting goals or working towards anything?
That's a great question. And I think Elkan would say that knowing we've already won doesn't negate the need for effort, but it transforms our motivation.
Okay.
We're no longer working out of fear or scarcity,
Right.
but out of a place of love, gratitude, and the desire to express the victory that's already within us.
So it's less about I have to do this to succeed and more about I get to do this because I'm already victorious.
Exactly. It's about aligning our actions with the reality of our already won victory. It's about living from a place of abundance, knowing that God has equipped us with everything we need to fulfill His purpose for our lives.
This is seriously shifting my whole perspective on goal setting and achievement. Instead of being driven by anxiety or the fear of failure, I'm now motivated by the desire to express the victory that God has already secured for me.
And I think that's a beautiful way to live. It's about embracing the journey, knowing that every step we take is guided by God's love and grace.
So what does this all mean for our listeners as they step into the new year?
It means stepping into 2025 with a heart full of gratitude, confidence, and joyful expectation.
Yeah.
It means embracing the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that we're not alone in the journey.
Right.
It means living from a place of victory, knowing that God has already gone before us and secured our triumph.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
Elkan's Begin from the End has truly provided a fresh and empowering perspective on how to approach not just the new year, but life itself.
I agree. It's a reminder that true victory isn't found in external achievements, but in aligning ourselves with God's perspective.
Yeah.
Embracing His already accomplished goodness.
Right.
And living each day with a heart overflowing with gratitude.
Well, dear listeners, as we launch into this new year, let's carry this message of hope and victory with us.
Yeah.
Let's begin from the end, embracing the blessings that await us and living each day as a testament to God's faithfulness.
I love it.
And remember, if you were to look back on December 31st, 2025, what would you be most grateful for? Let that vision guide your year. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep seeking truth.
This was an audio recording of Elkan's Word for Today, the WhatsApp devotional by Greg Elkan. For more information and other edifying resources, visit us at www.gregelkan.com. That's GREGELKAN.com. You can send your comments or questions by WhatsApp to 234-813-664-2912. God bless you.